Oh, then as we pass Shady Oaks Road. All right. First, there's this I don't know, animation, a GIF about empaths, and it shows this guy who's a cartoon, and he walks along, and he sees the sad people, and he goes over and he consoles the sad people. And you can tell they're sad people because they look like him, but they're full of black darkness in like different amounts. And he goes over and consoles them, and then the black darkness goes in him and out of those people, and they run off and be happy with other happy people. And he walks on and soaks up more, soaks up more, soaks up more. And at the end, he gets to the dog, and then like, because he touches noses with the dog, the blackness evaporates from everybody. Well, Dolly wouldn't touch noses with me, so she's still black. Now, maybe we both are. Thanks, Dolly. I guess I'll get on. Oh, and by the way, today is the first day I actually noticed the symptoms of the brain tumor. Symptoms of the tumor, of the like burnt toast thing. I don't know if I'd call it burnt toast, but I got that symptom today. That's fun. All right, what else do we got here? Hey, that make a wish, Grim Grizz. Okay, we're talking about the Lutheran service we attended. What a charismatic young guy that they have at that pastor, and like the benches, the pews are full. Like we had to look to find an open spot for the four of us. I got to sit next to the supervillain CW Weeks, who made a little square box around the it says, anybody who believes that the yeah can have the communion, and part of the yeah was in the real presence. And it's like it's a magic phrase in the same way the whole health bullshit is a magic phrase. And when they say abortion access, and it's buzzwords or buzzsaws. They're not necessarily holy. Paul Van de Clay likes to say buzzwords or holy words. Buzz swords. They're buzz swords, guys. They're swords. Buzz swords. Buzz saws make the bowls. I think the estuary protocol, Paul, is a buzz saw, maybe. That's the only, since the power hasn't gone out anywhere. That's where the dream seems to apply. Oh shit. Alright, what else do we got there? Oh yeah, we go to this Lutheran service. He's gonna do a baptism. So we do this little light of mine, right? But he does a sermon on the bridegroom's thing. And I'm so detached. Like, alright. So like in ancient times, the dude got 10 wives, and it was no big deal if 5 of them got left outside. How is that going to translate to anyone today? Jesus, you need to come back and write us some new parables, man, or send a prophet or something, because nobody's even going to get that. Like, marriage has been destroyed, family destroyed. They normalized divorce. They told women to go be men, and now they're telling boys to be women. It's such enmity for the fucking womb and life itself. And turn your children into eunuchs and be politically correct. And don't forget your sterilization injections, boys and girls. Boys and girls, we can now cause cardiac arrest on demand. And everybody just accepts, oh, yep, suddenly died, happens all the time. Oh, was he a political dissident too? What a shame. What a shame. Just another one of the sudden death elephants in the room. And then no, with the lamp and the fuel and the wick and the he did that. He brought a prop. He got a prop, what you call it, lantern to try and make some sense of this ancient parable to a modern audience. Yeah, and they back in the kerosene lantern days, they had those. So he brought out a big fancy glass one, and I got triggered. I got triggered because of the oil of gladness. Now, when I say these things to you, understand that this is an intellectualized narrative persona speaking of these things to you, and as such, I can't. It's not like this is a faith I have or a belief. It's a belief system, but it's an articulated belief structure. But it doesn't mean that I can actually embody belief of it or do embody belief of it. However, since it is yet to be disproven to me, and I hope that by the law of confusion from the raw bullshit, it makes sense. It just like the shroud. If it's actually ever confirmed, valid evidence, it would like break the free will of everybody on the planet. If you prove it, then it's not free will anymore, jackhole. They have to figure it out for themselves. Now, speaking of figuring it out for themselves, this real presencing thing about the Christ and the thing, I think we covered that in the Exonia incident live stream. If you want to cover that, but despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in the cage. Has the lyric inside it, like this whole. All right. So this is hard. This is hard because it's the Heresy. That trailer doesn't have appropriate brake lights. So, one of the favorite things as a phrase crafter that has ever crossed my lips, and I can't say from whence it originates, of course, but the phrase was, all right, so God is tucking his kid into bed, and his kid says, tell me a story, and he says, let me tell you about the time you died. And that's us, this whole story that we are living, that the life of Christ. It's like, because God's the creator. If he speaks a story, it's like we're so careless with our words. And just imagine if poor guy can't really say anything without it springing into existence, sort of thing. And so he tells Jesus this story, but let's just say, take on principle in hypothesis as an axiom, a presumed axiom that the incarnation was in fact a divine incarnation. The Godhead embodied in man. Now, what would be the motive? The motive, if not redemption of the original sin. Like, we have the established motive, forgiveness of, like, hey man, there's this, all right. So, like, relax into the heresy, Grim. Mr. Grim Grizz, General Grim Grizz, Mr. Grizz, wrong guy, and Grim. The first law of Christian protocol. Embrace your heretical speech. This instant, on behalf of the sacred order of foolish transparency. Do it now. Okay, fine. All right. So say it wasn't the plan all along, and you were sent in. You're like, all right, you're gonna have to go down there for reasons. Go take a look. And he goes and he takes a look at the planet and he sees what's going on. And what's going on is there's this alien god that's taken the monkeys and made them more like they took their own DNA and made some monkey slaves. Everybody says to ignore Stitchin's translation of the Sumerian text, but the only basis I've yet received for dismissal of his text is that he was a Freemason, and as such it's not to be trusted anything he says, and that's not very nice. I think I'd like to hear some Freemason's opinion on the work of Stitchins now, don't you think? But anyway, he said that the dudes made us to make gold, like gold mining monkeys, and it's something we do, as demonstrated in the film Avatar, we all know and love. We would go to great lengths to get some unobtainium. And so he sees all this going on, and that the entity that has done this and made these people has established a covenant with them. And such a covenant involves things he can fulfill, being who he is. So as part of besting said species generator, he comes in as the redemption. Theoretically, his birth introduced, except all of Christianity as we know it maintains he's a virgin. Like introduces a gene into the line that allows a spiritual capacity denied by the meddlers that originated the species. Second of all, why do you guys pretend like everything the Indians say with regards to nukes going off in the before times as revealed to Americans through the game Assassin's Creed 2? Why do you pretend those guys in China don't exist? Like spiritually, they don't count. Why do they call them racists? I don't think it's fair that I should have to be one of Yahweh's just because my dick was cut when I was born. Oh, wow. Yeah, the end. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now, I guess it doesn't matter if you've fallen over at this point. It's the thing. I hope the audio is all right, bearable. The words certainly aren't, I'm sure. So anyway, in my heresies, wait, no, that was a good story you were going. Really? Yeah. Okay. I'll hear myself out. But he goes down and he sees that whole plan is in place. But or I like it better. I like it better that built into our basic anatomy, and probably the basic anatomy of everything that has spinal fluid, is the crucifixion of Christ. And whatever that Baba Wanyama bad man, I'm sure, please look into him and bust him if he's actually a bad man, people. The point is, he's the only one like talking about what makes sense to me. Is that if the crucifixion is in the sky in December and is embodied in the life of Christ, and I don't see why it wouldn't also be woven into our body, into a way, if preserved, wouldn't result in something called the oil of gladness. and that Christ being in you, as some of the scriptures say. And as such, when this with this parable with the bridegrooms and their wicks and their oil, it takes on a different connotation for me. Because if you haven't been refilling your oil of gladness, you don't have enough to last through the night until the bridegroom cometh. From that angle, if that's the oil that's being spoken about, it's like layer cake kayfabe, right? It's double talk buzzsaw words. It's they had the secret knowledge of the kenosis that it's built into the hardware. You can tune into God better. Once a month, abstain, be holy. And whether or not that's when the moon's in your fucking star sign doesn't really make sense to me. But I think we're not going to be able to tap people's spinal fluid and detect the chrism juice. At least we won't be able to confirm what happens in the pineal gland and pituitaries and shit. If it does make the journey down your spine into the sacrum and then back up to Golgotha, the base of the skull. If that's, anyway, but if that's the oil of gladness, it's just another layer and if that was the knowledge that you had to preserve, because what if that Kundalini energy, when unlocked, could be tainted and used for evil? So you didn't want just anybody to know. You didn't want anybody just to know. Because once you can know there's a left-hand path. And if everybody knows how to know, a lot of people are going to take it because they're short-sighted monkeys. Maybe that's that. But if that's that, then you couldn't hear it when I said it, or you'd never see this video because of the law of confusion and free will. You have to seek the truth. You have to want to know. And how to make yourself genuinely want something is one of my deepest personal inquiries. As I expect whatever I want to be pretty blah when I actually get it. So it's hard to want things. Oh, but that's the lantern. He had the lantern thing at the Lutheran thing. They spoke about the bridegrooms. So all that was triggered. But he was a very charismatic fella. I hear their organ is under work. Oh, look, pretty Christmas lights. Can you see this? Can you get it? Look, they do the first God celebrating Santa Claus. You've heard of him? He brings you presents if you obey. Watch out for the elf on the shelf. The elf on the shelf is a plan to make your children used to being constantly surveilled. Did you go along with it? That's probably good. It probably makes them more comfortable. We are constantly surveilled. That's the reason I don't mind telling you the truth. It's like I'm uploading this into Google servers, which I understand to be quite intertwined with China, which doesn't religiously exist. And if they have it, they have the Discord that goes through Tencent, you know. I'd like to find the Langley version of these softwares to use. That's why I go StreamYards. But, can intelligence agencies like do subtle branding on the products so we can at least side with one of you guys? Like, personally, I understand Illuminati families rule the world. Oh, look, a beautiful bridge. I click. See, that's why I need the camera thing. It's dark though. But you can pause it. Do it. All right then. So we're in the flood of it, the dark times. Look how dark it is. And I'm wondering if, see, my notion for what estuary should be is where the salt water mixes. And for instance, the existence of that hexen, sixen, stixen bones fella, and all of that topic, the channel esoterica, especially for us YouTube Christians, Pastor Paul. My programming came in hard via Watts and Terence McKenna and Ram Dass, thanks to my affinity toward that poor man, Duncan Slack. I liked Duncan Slack a lot. And so, you know that one guy that went on Vervaeke, the weird teacher fella, he's supposed to have, like, hung out with Ram Dass and decided, oh, I can't be up on top of this ladder. I'd love to talk to that guy. Where were we? Oh, yes, dark. It's darkness. Darkness everywhere. So it's like, it's easier for me to find, I don't know, anything Satan, esoteric magic spells, the story of Lilith, etc., than it is to me to find any quote-unquote, that was just a bump in the road, quote-unquote Christian response to those things, the existence of these things. I guess Lord of Spirits is doing the work, and we need to send some Reapers over there. But am I even to the point as a captain of a ship I have Reapers to send anywhere? A pirate's life for me. The ship's information and the discords. It's inner sewagery. It's inner sewagery. Alright, that's enough of a video and enough of an estuary feedback. Everyone was lovely. The lady behind us singing the words of obedience had a really super beautiful voice. It was amazing. And they made me shake hands and say, it was like weird for me that they were peace be with you, because I'm like, and also with you. But that's for Catholics. What the heck is this going on? They have a different catchphrase? I felt like they didn't even know what the savings throws were for. No, I felt that I didn't even know what the savings throws were for, and some guy was rolling dice. So there was that going on. The stained glass was really neat. They had this one of Jesus knocking on the door to your heart from the outside, which is, I think, wrong. I think Christ knocks on the door to your heart from the inside. But, ouch, stop it. And they're in their stained glass. He's knocking, but he's looking straight at you, and he's knocking with like a one knuckle knock. It's like the still small knock at the door. So like you better not be vacuuming or anything. I'm on my way back to the pizza. The place I live was once dubbed the armpit of America, and it's spiritually felt like living there ever since. It's still like 12 hours away. Plenty of assassination attempts. I don't know how long before this will upload, but thank you once again to all the people who said, here's enough money to go. I'm pretty sure I have enough. There's not really a hotel option, but I should be able to make it home. And Chad, if you watch this, tell that Mark fella, like, I really, really appreciate him. Okay? Alright, good night, everybody, or whatever you're doing tonight.